The Bears with a blowout of the Carolina Panthers. 36-10 is the final. We are going to take your phone calls, 312-644-6767. This is the Great Clips postgame show presented by Sony Pictures Wonderverse. It's right here in Oak Brook, and it's awesome. We are also brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. I'm Laurence Holmes sitting in for Mully. That's Olin Kreutz. That's Patrick Mannelly. Boys, this is what we like to do. These are the types of shows that we love to do when you get to walk in with a big old Bears win.
Stress-free fourth quarter, man. That was nice. And I was looking, I said something on Twitter that this is the first time, I didn't even want to go back 4 years, but in 3 years they had 30 points in the third quarter, and that was halfway through the third quarter. So it was just a good old-fashioned beatdown. You know, we talked earlier in the game. We all predicted a win. I didn't know it would go that way. Caleb played great. The defense played great. Carolina's not that good, but listen, guys, the Bears did what they had to do against that opponent. They put them away. They embarrassed them. You don't see many games in the NFL with a point differential like that where you can walk away in the fourth quarter, and we're sitting there joking around the whole fourth quarter watching the game. Yeah. And that just tells you how bad they beat the Panthers today. So I'm happy for them, and it's a great step in the right direction for them. And the Jaguars are coming up, but this was a great game today for the Bears.
Yeah, you got to be good enough to make a bad team look bad, and they were. And Caleb Williams, best quarterback on the field today by far.
Easily.
But easily the best quarterback on the field. Made throws with his arm talent that made you look at each other like we did and go, wow. Right, the boot when he threw the ball, even Vilma was like, that defender didn't think he was going to throw that ball, and he threw it. Offensive line gave him time. Right, we said going into the game that their pass rush wasn't great, but how bad would it be if the offensive line looked bad today? They didn't. They looked really good. Right, they're really good out there. Even when Tevin Jenkins went down and Murray came in, still look good. The defense, I mean, Andy Dalton didn't want to throw the ball. You want to know why? Because when you play that secondary, you see ghosts. Right, you don't want to fit it into tight spots because they'll take it away from you. So a really, really good game by the Chicago Bears. 36-10. Pat looked up. When's the last time they scored 30 points? I'd say when's the last time they scored 30 points in 10 years? What is the combined total number, right? Is it more than 5? I don't know. I really don't know. So to watch that today, to watch the way Caleb Williams played, to watch him come out, to watch them go empty in the second half, have him get first downs, to watch them run the ball efficiently. Not great, but efficiently enough, and to watch that defense dominate again. It was a fun game to watch for the Chicago Bears, and I'm sure the people there at Soldier Field.
Caleb Williams, 20 of 29, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Passer rating of 126.2. Really great performance. And if you're looking for, like, the targets, well, we were wondering, are you going to get DJ Moore involved? Yes, they got him involved. 8 targets for DJ Moore. He left some money on the table with a drop of about a 15-yard pass. Still 105 yards receiving for him. 2 touchdowns in this game. The Bears were able to run the ball with DeAndre Swift a little bit, but as you said, it's still a work in progress to get that thing going and get it going consistently. But the defense suffocated Andy Dalton after that first drive, that first big hit that Chuba Hubbard had on his touchdown run. And then after that, it was like they were trying to safe play their way to a win, and you're not going to be able to do that against this defense.
No. And the other number is the three takeaways for the defense and 0 turnovers for Caleb. No fumbles, no interceptions, and he's learning. He's talked about it. Don't turn the ball over, and he's 3-0 without turning the ball over. Well, with this defense right now, that's a great formula.
Isn't this what Matt Eberflus is wanting? He wants the. If you look at it, this defense doesn't give up more than 20 points. If you score 24, you're going to be in good shape to win games. They're doing more than that with this offense, and every week it seems like there's a little bit more of Caleb that he can show you and say, all right, I'm getting it and I'm making plays.
Yeah, today he was pushing it down the field, right? He was pushing. He talked about DJ Moore. They ran that crossing route off of the play action in the first quarter for the first touchdown. Right, really good pass. Really good pass, and the cornerback lost him and dropped him and hit him coming across the field. So that's what you were waiting to see. We went to the game talking about efficient play at quarterback, game manager at quarterback a little bit. Today he was throwing it a little bit more, right? He was trying to fit into tight spots, not trying to. He was fitting into tight spots. The offense, Shane Waldren, take a bow, right? He took a lot of heat. 424 yards of total offense, right? 36 points. They did a nice job today. All of us going into the game had the Panthers under 17 points or at 17 points. We know what this defense is. But you said you were bullish, Laurence. You gave them 30, right? But I gave them 30 off of the defense would score a touchdown, right? The offense today puts up 36 points. That's something we don't see a lot of. And that's what you're trying to see from a quarterback with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and Cole Kmet and DeAndre Swift. You're trying to see points go on the board at Soldier Field. And today, for one day against this team, Shane Waldren's offense came alive and scored a lot of points.
Yeah, it looked good. You said pushing it down the field. I think it was the second drive in the second half. I think he had 4 straight passes that were over for 10 yards. 4 straight first downs. I think I got it right, 3 or 4 of them.
5. You had 5 first downs on first down.
Yes, so he's pushing the ball down the field. So that's impressive. That's, again, we keep talking about we want to see progress. We want to see improvement in Caleb Williams. Today was a big step. I think it was a big one. I'm not even going there. We're not going to talk about how bad Carolina is. But he did what he had to do against them.
Hey, look.
Because it's another pro team. Listen, he did what he had to do.
Olin said it in the pregame. He said you shouldn't apologize for the teams that are on your schedule. The last 2 weeks you've taken care of a Rams team that had a lot of injuries and a Carolina team that's not very good. But you need those wins, especially when you look at the back half of the schedule and realize, hey, maybe the Vikings are a lot more tough than you expected them to be with Sam Darnold, them being undefeated, the Packers in their run game, Detroit and what they do all over the place. You need these wins in the early part of the season if you're going to have a serious conversation about being a playoff team at the end.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about Caleb, right, today a lot of checking, a lot of up-tempo offense, a lot of him in charge, get him in and out of plays. Some of the center swearing at him about
I love that.
There's a blitz coming. You got to notice the blitz coming,
Fire?
right?
Was it a
but to me,
leaping fire? Yeah.
What is the movie they say? You think we're arguing? I think we're finally communicating. That's the way we speak on the football field sometimes, right? So a lot of checking in and out of plays, a lot of tempo, putting Carolina at the line of scrimmage, letting Caleb decide what play to run, what play not to run. He is taking steps towards being a good quarterback. This offense today, extremely impressed with the way they played, the way they got guys open, the way they called plays, the way they got things going.
It's really cool to see that too. Like it is, even if you're untrained, you guys are actually trained in it. But even if you're untrained, you look at what's happening at the line of scrimmage and you see Caleb Williams looking like he's in command of the offense. That has to be a good sign, right, Patrick?
The great ones do that, right? I mean, I think all the great ones you've ever seen do that. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady. They're all in command before the ball's snapped. They understand what's going to happen. I call it like you almost have your cheat code that you know this or this or this can happen, and as soon as whatever happens, you go out there and perform. He looks like he's grasping those concepts and getting it. And it's encouraging for me as a Bears fan, a former Bears player, to say, hey, I'm not there yet. I'm not going to crown him yet, but he looks like he's going in the right direction to be that guy and be that first-round pick. You know, we're watching Jaden Daniels up here on the screen in front of us, and he had a great game. But if Jaden Daniels was not playing in the NFL right now, was not, comparing him against Caleb Williams, I think everybody would be like, man, Caleb's having a pretty good rookie year. He's doing okay. He's showing some progress for a rookie. But then you have Jaden Daniels and C.J. Stroud do what they've been doing the last 2 years, so it's hard to compare that. But just what I see of Caleb Williams, I'm happy.
If you end up with a really, really good quarterback, you're not upset because someone else also has
yes.
a really, really good
There's going to be 3 or 4 of them in the league.
Yes, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready to talk to, like, happy Bears fans?
Oh, amen.
For sure.
All right, let's do this. 312-644-6767. You can text us that way. You can call in that way. Let's start in Detroit and talk with Steven. Steven, you're on the Great Clips postgame show.
Hi, guys. Very, very impressive win for the Bears. The only gripe that I have is that I wish that they would have probably put the foot down a little bit more in the second half, because it was kind of a back and forth of punts and miscues in the second half. But I like the fact that Caleb is really showing real sign of growth. I like the fact that the Bears are letting him call plays or change or audible at the line of scrimmage, which is, rare for a rookie or even a veteran to be allowed to do that. So, kudos to the Bears coaching staff. Shane Waldren called a very good game. I don't have any qualms about it. DeAndre Swift, I think they finally found a way to unlock him, to, make him a threat on the both the ground and the pass. And, you know, the defense did their job as once again. Obviously, they go to London, which obviously they're not used to. You know, Jacksonville, that's their backyard. It's obviously they do that every year, so there's a bit of a wariness about that. But, you know, I have a feeling that the Bears, if they play to their strength, I think they could go 4-2 when they get to the bye after next Sunday. So hopefully that's the game that we're going to see more complimentary football, even against the Jaguars in London.
Well, thanks for the phone call. We really appreciate it. Yeah, getting this win, guys, is huge, where you didn't want to take that long flight over to London going, man, you know, we really blew a chance against that Carolina team. No, now you've got an opportunity to really, if you believe in the concept of seasonal momentum, you've really got an opportunity to be feeling great after the bye if you can go over there and do work next week.
Yeah, and if you know, the improvement that we've seen from this offense from Shane Waldren in his play calling, and the improvement you've seen with Caleb Williams as well, you go over there and get that win, then you get the bye week, and we always talk about self-scouting, right? Then you can really figure out your offense, because we talked earlier in the year, what is Shane Waldren doing? I think he was trying to figure out his players, what scheme fits best in the run game. Obviously missing Keenan Allen hurt, but now you can go back and you can watch those 6 games and say, hey, these are the strengths of our team. This is what Caleb does well. Let's get better at this. We need to work at this. I don't want to put the win in their bucket right now, but if they can do that, that would be a nice bye week to be done with a young quarterback to be able to self-scout that way.
Yeah, when you watch the game, right, it starts off, J.C. Horn drops a pick 6, right? So you go.
I thought we weren't going to do negatives,
like you have
Olin.
things on film, right? You have those things on, then you get the touchdown, right away. And that's what you're impressed with. You're impressed with the fact that they come right back and score. So the key is really, like, what do you actually see on film, right? You have to actually see what is working and what's not. You're playing against, you have to say, okay, we played against the 2 worst defenses in the league. Bottom half, bottom 5. So what actually are we doing good and what are we actually doing bad? And that's what happened, I think, in preseason. They didn't really see what they were actually doing good and what they were actually doing bad. They thought everything was great. So you have to take this win. You got to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. But you have to watch the film properly so you can improve, go to beat probably a better Jaguars team. And then, like Pat is saying, take the week off, enjoy it. And like you're saying, Laurence, they've got some tough games, some tough matchups coming up. But how do you improve off of these games? By actually watching the film, actually seeing, okay, now will that angle actually work against a top defense in the NFL?
Through you guys' experience, what's it like when you're able to make corrections even though you won? And in this case, you won by 4 touchdowns. What's it like in the building those weeks when you're coming off of big wins?
I think sometimes some coaches are different. I got lucky to be coached by Dave Tobe. He was the same guy all the time, and I'm just going to the special teams room. He was hard on anybody. He didn't care if we won 36-10. He's still going to coach you hard because he's worried about at the end of the year, what are we going to look like when we're going to the playoffs? How are we going to be as a unit as an entire season? So, yeah, you believe in like the 24-hour rule and enjoy it, but then you still got to coach like you coached. It was a 13-10 win. I think those to me are the successful coaches, the successful rooms, and successful teams.
Yeah, kind of like what we're talking about, right? Those kind of coaches, they're going to coach you on your mistakes anyway, no matter what the score is, right? But this film, like you're talking about, Laurence, we were talking about going into the game. Are we worried about DJ Moore and the things he's saying and Caleb? And the winning cures all, we like to say in the NFL, right? It makes the locker room, everybody's upbeat. Everyone's a little more coachable after a win. After you win a game, people aren't looking to hide as much. So you win a game and you put up 430 yards of offense and 30-plus points. So now everyone's a little more – we're talking about make the offense the star, right? How do you convince them to work in the direction of, look, it doesn't matter if I get the ball. It matters if our offense is doing well. Now everyone can buy in a little bit more, right? Everyone's buying in a little bit more to what they're saying because, yeah, we did have 420-plus yards offense. We did score 30-plus points. We did beat up on the Panthers. So now you get a little more buy-in from your players because of the success.